Jennifer Garcia, and I am finishing up my Bachelor's of Organizational Leadership degree plan. And through this journey in organizational leadership, I have learned a tremendous amount of information. I thought when I started this that I knew everything there was to know about management. I didn't think there was a whole lot more I could learn. I have been a manager at a family practice doctor's office for 15 years. And so I thought that I was a good communicator. I thought that I was able to promote teamwork. I thought that I was able to manage different personalities and different departments effectively. And going through this course, I realized that maybe I can do some of those things, but not as good and not as well as I should be. So this course has really opened my eyes to understand the differences between managers and leaders. It's helped me to become more of a leader versus just a manager. And I have been very fortunate that I was able to take this course. I have learned a tremendous amount. And a lot of us, we just get comfortable, we get lazy in our positions, especially if we've been there a long time. We get caught up in the routine day to day activities, and we just think that that's how it's going to be done. That's how it we've always done it. That's how we're going to continue to do it. And taking this degree plan has really helped me to see that there are ways we can change, there are ways we can improve, and it's not a bad thing. That we always need to be open to learning new things and open to changing processes and procedures as needed. So as I went through this course and degree plan, there of course is the major courses that we take, and the first one being the issues in organizational leadership. This was the first course, and it introduces the course of organizational management. We learned organizational terminology and the characteristics of leaders. I learned the difference between a manager and a leader, which is very important and very eye-opening to me. Again, like I said, this helped me become more of a leader versus just a manager. During this course, I developed a personal leadership plan to outline my personal goals that I would like to accomplish during this degree plan of organizational leadership. The project helped me identify what strengths and weaknesses I have. I also was able to lay out where I needed self-improvement as a leader and be able to work on those areas as well. The personal leadership plan asked questions that forced me to identify specific aspects of my purpose for this journey, and it was a great introductory piece for the degree plan. It set the tone. It made me realize where I want to go with this degree plan and what I want to get out of it. So that was very, very beneficial for me. Moving on through the course, the next one was data-driven decision making. This was a two-part course, and this of course had to deal with data. And what data-driven decision making did for me, it was one of the more difficult classes for me. I'm not an expert at Excel by any means, graphs and that sort of thing. That was a challenge for me. However, this course pushed me to learn and understand the need for data gathering. The class helped me organize data that is collected and helped me to understand how to make an educated decision based on the data. I have been able to use this information that I have learned in this course and apply it to my current position. This course has helped me to improve with Excel and with graphs and with knowing what data is sufficient and what data is not, and making sure I know how to place that data to easily read, to easily present to a group of people so they can get the most out of what I'm trying to tell them. I've been also able to utilize graphs and spreadsheets more adequately after taking this course, and this has given me the ability to produce better PowerPoints in order to conduct more effective meetings with my staff. It has also allowed me to give a better picture of the data by using graphs, which in turn helps the staff visualize the collected data and helps them to be able to visualize where we are now and where we need to go. I've had great success utilizing this information in my current position. Like I said, it's easier now that I can make a graph and I can show the staff, this is where we are, this is where we need to be, and this is our goal, and this is how I want to get there. And so that's been very beneficial for me in my current position as well. Moving on to the next course that we had was Behavior, Ethics, and Leadership. Again, a two-part course. And in these two courses, I learned how a transformational leader, which was Carlos Ghosn, turned Nissan into a multi-million-dollar company from bankruptcy. I learned what a transformational leader actually is. A transformational leader sees the big picture. They don't see small goals. They have those small goals in addition to a bigger goal, and they see where the company can go, not only where the company is right now. And so that was very inspirational to me. Carlos Ghosn is a leader that I aspire to be. I wish that I had more of that transformational attitude. I'm more of transactional, where I like instant gratification. I like to see the results right away, and it takes me a little bit longer to see the big picture of things. So that's one thing that I am working on in this class, helped me discover that. Um, Transformational leaders are patient. They have a vision for the company, and they take the steps needed to take the company to another level. I'm the type of leader that wants instant gratification. Like I said, I like to make changes and see those results immediately. And while taking these two courses, I have tasked myself with becoming more patient, with trying to set long-term goals versus just the short-term goals. And that has helped a little bit. Of course, it hasn't been long enough for me to see any results from that yet, but I have set long-term goals for myself personally, and for the clinic, for different processes and things that we do, that we can collect data and we can analyze over months and even years to see where we are now, where we were, where we are now, and where we are in the future. So that has really helped me. I have reevaluated my usual transactional leadership style and try to become more patient. And I feel that after taking this course, I'm able to better communicate my expectations to my staff and hold them accountable for my expectations. I took a lesson from Carlos Ghosn. When he took over Nissan, he went to each department and he explained what was going on, what was going to happen. He asked each of the individuals, what do they contribute to the company? And I have been able to do that within my clinic. I manage about 35 employees total, with doctors, physician assistants, and employees. And I've been able to go to each one of them or each department and say, what do you give to this company, this clinic? What is your purpose here? And it's been very eye-opening to see what I think that they bring to the clinic and what they think they bring to the clinic. So that's been a great icebreaker. That has been something that I can talk to them about. We can have conversation about. We can come together and see where we need to go, what needs to be done now, and my expectations and their expectations, and come together to a common ground to see how we can make everything work. Then also, moving on, well, in behavior, ethics, and leadership also, we talked about the lawsuit of the Ford Pinto versus a family that their children had died in a crash of it being in a Ford Pinto. And this was very eye-opening to me because I was able to see the case study, the case analysis. I was able to see the company's point of view. You know, a lot of times we're quick to side with the grieving family. Oh, it's the big company's fault. They're the bad guys. Well, this in particular helped me see the company side, that they weren't necessarily at fault. There's always going to be accidents. There's always going to be things that could have been foreseen, maybe not, maybe so, but it's not always the company's fault. And this paper right here really helped me to see that. And moving on, we had leadership theory, again another two-part class. And in leadership theory, this helped me to design a process improvement plan that I could actually implement in my clinic that I currently manage. This was a beneficial class as I was able to take my project assigned in the class and take a current process for my job and improve on it. This class proved to be very informative and very useful for me. I took a process I use in my clinic, which is the return call process, and was able to evaluate my current process at the clinic, collect data from the current process, make changes, and again collect data in order to compare the changes. And in this class, I was able to organize that data and be able to do a project for my schoolwork, but also help out my clinic at the same time. And we have seen positive results from that process improvement plan. So this class in itself was very beneficial for me and very informative. Then we went to Leading Change. In the Leading Change course, I was able to learn about and complete a SWOT analysis. In this course, I took a different approach, and instead of doing my project on my clinic, on my business that I know, I did it on a company I was not as familiar with. I wanted to see the difference of taking something that I know that I'm familiar with versus something that I'm not very familiar with and see what kind of difference I would get. And in doing this, I learned about the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of Chick-fil-A. Although this is a restaurant I frequent often, the business aspect was completely a learning experience for me. I think it was a good learning experience as I was able to complete the analysis from an outsider, seeing what qualities Chick-fil-A possesses from an outsider's perspective, and then learn about the business aspect through research and to see what other qualities Chick-fil-A possesses in order to complete a thorough SWOT analysis. I was able to research Chick-fil-A and see the business side of things, what their strengths are business-wise. And yes, I mean, from an outsider, I can say, yes, they have good customer service, and yes, they have healthier choices of food, things like that. However, from the business side, it opened up to they have a charity program, and their employees, they have tuition reimbursement, different things like that that is on the business side that I, as a outsider, would have no idea about. So that was very informative as well. And then we move on to our capstone classes, which have proven to be the most difficult for me. Conducting an in-depth strategic analysis proved to be extremely challenging for me. I thoroughly enjoyed the interview process of interviewing two upper-level management personnel within two different companies. Um, that was an eye-opening project for me. This project let me experience through the lens of two different executives in completely different businesses. In my experience, I have only worked with one company in my entire career. It was refreshing to hear different aspects of leadership and to get insight from different companies. Capstone II, of course, is this video, and while I'm not much for public speaking, I think this is a great project to work on that aspect as it's one of my weaknesses. Usually when I speak publicly, I tend to speak fast and unclear, so I'm really working on that through this video where I hope you can understand me and I am speaking clear and speaking where I make sense to you guys. But in this project, I have an outline of items to discuss and I can expand on them, which this allows me to prepare my thoughts a little bit better and hopefully address them clearly. Today, as a leader, after taking the international leadership courses, I can definitely say that I'm a different leader today than I was a year ago when I started this degree plan. I came into the course a little too confident of my leadership skills, and I quickly learned that I have a lot to learn, and I am able to say that. I'm able to acknowledge that I don't know as much as I thought I did. These courses have taught me lessons that I've never been taught before. They opened my eyes to view issues from different perspectives. I feel I am now a better leader due to the lessons I have learned through these courses. I'm not only a manager, I feel like I'm also a leader as well. I feel I am a better communicator, that I can communicate my expectations to my staff, and I can in turn listen to my staff's opinions or concerns and together come up with a solution. I have also learned transformational qualities such as patience and looking at the big picture, and I've tried to start incorporating these qualities into my leadership style. After completing this course, along with my experience in management, I feel I'm able to more adequately be a leader in an organizational setting. And where do I want to go from here? Well, from here, I am happy to say that I have actually been offered a position to become an assistant to a CEO of an oil and gas organization. I believe I was offered this opportunity due to my degree plan in organizational management. Of course, I would like to continue my education onto a master's in business, which will only complement my new job role. But I'm very happy and excited to start that new journey in my life, and I really don't think that I could have done it without this bachelor's degree in organizational management. Again, I enjoyed the courses, I enjoyed the degree plan, and I'm very thankful and very grateful that I was able to participate in it. And that is my Capstone II video presentation. Thank you.